Yes, guys, and welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boy Dave. And today I am bringing you my predicted lineup as Tottenham look to remain unbeaten in the Premier League as they take on Liverpool. And Stroppy Kloppy with some huge concerns around how fit is Maddison and Son. Also, Brennan Johnson ruled out, which means there will be a change today. But look, let's waste no time. Let's get straight into it and pick the team that we think Ange Postecoglou will pick to deliver 3 points. Now we, of course, will start with Elmo, a.k.a. Guglielmo Vicario in goals. Absolutely phenomenal last week. A few sharp reflexes in the North London derby, which kept us in the game earlier on. But also, with how composed he is with his feet, that allows us to actually play our game in these big games against the big teams because he's virtually unpressable. So we need that same calmness, that same stealthiness that he showed against Arsenal again today, and will be absolutely crucial to a victory or a result for us. We just need Big Vic and his safe palms in goals. One of the best goalkeepers in the league, in my opinion. Now, that brings me on to left back and the one and only Destiny Udogie, the big dog. Really up against it today against Mo Salah, a.k.a. Mo Salah. That guy, Mo Salah, always scores against Tottenham. I believe 11 goals in 18 league outings against Tottenham. Last week, Destiny Udogie picked up an early yellow up against Saka. Now, look, he went on to absolutely flourish in the game, but he cannot afford to get that early yellow this time up against Mo Salah because there will be a few late challenges he'll have to make on him to take him out, and he cannot afford that early yellow card. But look, another big test. If he comes out of this unscathed, he is the best left back in the league, in my opinion, and he's key to neutralising Mo Salah, which will then hopefully neutralise half of Liverpool's attack. Now, moving on over to right back, and we will go with the prison warden, Pedro Porro, a.k.a. the postman, delivers UK wide, and Liverpool would be the next team to fill the rat. Now, going into this one, Pedro Porro, of course, was behind Emerson at the start of the season in the pecking order, but since he made his way into the team, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, he will be up against Luis Diaz tomorrow, so it's going to be his toughest test to date, in my opinion. One little thing to watch out for is them balls that will be dropped in over his head. I've no doubt Jurgen Klopp will pinpoint that. Arsenal done it once last week, which led to a very early chance for Gabriel Jesus. Liverpool will do that time and time again, so he really needs to stay switched on and aware of that. Now, moving on to the centre-back, we will have Rose and Royce, but we will start with Romero. When it comes to Romero, look, a couple of big mistakes last week, bit harsh with the penalty decision and also the deflection on another day that goes wide. However, we will need an absolute faultless game from Christian Romero on this one if we are to come away with any result. And also, with him being one of the vice captains, we need that leadership. We need him to be at his most vocal and organize all them other defenders around him. That would be absolutely key to tomorrow's game. Now, moving on to Mickey van der Tongen, most people's man of the match last week in the North London derby. Absolutely phenomenal defender, didn't put a foot wrong. We'll need an absolute flawless display because he will have two jobs. He will have one being tasked to deal with Darwin Noodles and also helping Udogie down that side with Mo Salah. So he will have we need an absolute massive game from Van de Ven. Again, if he can mop up with everything behind him like he did in the North London derby, that should neutralise one side of the pitch for Liverpool. Now, moving on to the conductor, the most important man on the pitch, in my opinion, which is Yves Bissouma. Last week, he started slow, in my opinion. Despite all the plaudits he's come out with, I thought the first half, he was very poor in possession, very lapsed, getting caught a number of times. We cannot afford for him to do that this game. He has to be switched on from minute one. And if he can do that and help us dominate possession, we can pin Liverpool back in and ask them questions that they have not been asked for in a number of years. Now, we will move on to Mr. Creator, the one and only Leonardo da Vinci, a.k.a. Maddison. Absolute baller. 2 goals, 4 assists since his arrival at Tottenham. We need exactly the same as what he gave us last week. Hungry out of possession and absolutely clinical in possession. And of course, We need him to keep that partnership up with Son. Just keep feeding him because the guy will put the ball in the back of the net. Now, moving over onto left wing, the biggest call of the day, of course, Brennan Johnson being injured. But we will bring in Manor Solomon. Now, I know there will be debates whether you should use Richarlison's hatred for Liverpool, up front. However, I think with Solomon coming in, it disrupts us a little bit less, but also allows Maddison and Son's partnership to flourish right through the middle where we have benefited from, rather than Maddison looking for Son out wide. So for me, with Solomon as well, there's an opportunity for this guy to be able to nail down a starting spot here. This side is the only side of the front three for me where there's questions about who gets that starting spot, and we need a massive performance. We also need his work rate and the energy to deal with Trent as Alexander-Arnold, because not only is it Mo Salah coming down that side, Trent is back fit, so we need Solomon to be able to track him and stop him from having an influence in terms of passing and crossing that ball. So we need a mighty game from the Salah monster today. Also, now we will move over to right wing, and of course we will stick with the only ginger from Sweden, aka Dejan Kulusevski. Absolutely unbelievable performance last week. 2 goals to his names, of course, already this season. Really took the game to Arsenal, but we are yet to wait to see that full 90 minutes performance from Kulusevski, and I think this is going to be the day we're going to get it from him. We really need him at his consistent best. If he is, he can help propel this unbeaten run. Now, moving on to the main man, the man of the hour, our captain, our leader, Son. Let's bring him in. The absolute king of Tottenham right now. 2 goals last week in the North London Derby. Hopefully he can double up with another brace today. The only surviving member of our last win against Liverpool in the league, that against in 2017, 4-1 at Wembley when Dejan Lovren had an absolute nightmare. The only surviving member of that team. But look, with Sonny, I think it's a huge opportunity for him to, again, announce on the world stage that I'm the main man at Tottenham and I will drag this club to where it wants to be. Interesting, I heard, I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were saying about the importance of leadership in the dressing room and stuff like that. And that I think they're actually referring to someone like Jordan Henderson, how people followed him into battle when he was Liverpool captain, how he commanded respect from everyone around him. And with Son, I think he is definitely that sort of guy, but also that guy where a leader, drives you on to be a better team and drags everybody through. And Son Aldo is that guy. But guys, that's my predicted 11 ahead of today's game. Absolute massive game. Please let me know your prediction below. Let me know why you've made them decisions. And also get your score predictions in there. I'll see you later on, 1:30 p.m. for the pre-match build-up as we look to beat Liverpool for the first time since 2017 and take all 3 points and remain unbeaten. Come on, you Spurs. It's time for the cockerel to crow. In the big hands we trust. We never stop. Everywhere we go.